Hi, everyone. Welcome to my holiday detox webinar. I'm so excited that you're here with me. For those of you who are meeting me for the first time, welcome. I'm Dr. Shefali. You may know me as an author, a teacher, and a true humble messenger of consciousness. Welcome to all of you. So happy to have you here. Why don't you say hello to me and tell me where you're from, and if this is your first time with me. How about if it's your first time, let me know that. So happy to see you all. So where are you from, and if you're here for the first time? Honduras, South Africa, California, Portland, Florida, San Francisco. It's her first time. Kelly, welcome. Melbourne. Several people here for the first time. So happy that you're here with me. Mexico, Minneapolis, Maryland, Idaho. So great. I love that. Thank you for being here. So wonderful. When this webinar is over, you will receive a replay, and you can spread it with your friends and family. I don't mind. It's information that will help elevate consciousness, alleviate stress. So this is for your friends and family as well. So I hope you do take it in and learn from this message and care to spread it, because this is what we want. We want the message of consciousness to reach more people. From Wales, Los Angeles, Poland for the first time. Welcome. So exciting. So many new people. So we're going to begin in a moment. Just let people settle in. We have over 1,200 people almost signed in and registered. And right now we have a good number online live with us. So welcome. Denmark, New Zealand. British Columbia, Southern California. Okay. So I think we can get started. Abu Dhabi, Tamara, that's so exciting. Welcome. Okay, so I'm about to begin. So many of you know me, but for those who are learning about me for the first time, I am an avid and passionate disseminator of liberating wisdom, of consciousness, of allowing and being a conduit myself for ways in which we as a humanity can elevate, uprise, and liberate ourselves from the shackles that we unknowingly have been binding ourselves to. You know, as we approach middle age, we begin to realize that all that was told to us by our parents didn't ultimately end up in the penultimate goal of happiness, peace, and liberation. Sorry about my voice. It's always hoarse, but now it's especially coarse and hoarse and raspy. So our parents told us that if we followed a way of being, celebrate the holidays, follow tradition, engage in family rituals, then this would be the way to stay connected. This would be the way to reach peace, to reach abundance, do well at school, have a good career, learn how to achieve, be motivated, get married, have children. So our parents did the best that they could and gave us a list of prescriptions to follow. But they told us that the agenda really for following the prescriptions is to arrive at peace and liberation. Yet, we have now found that overstressing, overachieving, overdoing, focusing on grades, focusing on our beauty, focusing on how much money we have, And now with the holiday seasons, the focus on how to give our children more gifts or how to spend money, all these things actually go counter to peace, liberation, abundance, and joy. So, for a while we go along with our parents' prescriptions, but then we reach middle age. Hopefully most of us get this realization earlier, but at least by middle age, we begin to realize, hey, all those prescriptions that we've been following, I'm no longer more peaceful, or I'm not yet more liberated or more free. In fact, wait a second, I could be more shackled. How did this come to be? And here's where teachings such as mine jump in. My teachings offer you a way to step back and become aware of all the prescriptions we've been following, and to ask yourself, are these my prescriptions? Is this my way of being? Or is this a way of being of a culture or from my childhood that has mostly been unconscious? And just this enlightened question, bringing light to our life, bringing light to our ways of being, creates a shift in consciousness. And then, depending on the work you do and the teachers you follow, then you begin to open up, rip open your entire inner self and excavate it out so that you can then manifest the true authentic self that you are in the real world. I believe really that our core reason for suffering is that we do not yet know who it is we are. We've been following prescriptions. We've been following the ways of being of culture and parents. And this has been taking us further away from our authentic self. So this is why in 2018, I am inspired to offer a new course, and I want to tell you a little bit about it. It's called the Year of Manifestation, because I believe it is our intrinsic desire, each one of yours, intrinsic desire and purpose to manifest yourself, who it is you are out in the real world. Yet you feel shackled, you feel blocked, you feel obstructed to manifest this. And I see this in a plethora of families, in almost every individual I meet. Okay, Dr. Shefali, I understand that I am not my true self, but now I'm kind of working on that. But I still don't manifest out in the external world. How do I do that? It's tricky. It's hard. But there is a way to open yourself up to be a true partner with the universe so that you can manifest. So this is what my course in January 2018 will begin teaching: the art and the subsequent liberation of being a true manifester. If you join my course, and the details will be posted here, then I will be giving you a free gift, a gift of a $50 certificate to give to your friends and family so that they can use that for any of my courses, so that this holiday season can be one of raising consciousness instead of simply raising consumption. So let's dive into this webinar. What is this webinar about, and why did I choose to do it? It's, of course, focused on the stress of holidays. Why did I choose to do it? Because just yesterday I was with a group of women, and all they could talk about was, oh my goodness, I can't believe the holidays are descending and I'm getting really stressed out. And I asked them, why are you getting stressed out? So before I tell you what they said, why don't you put in the chat box, why do you feel stressed out by the holidays? In one or two words, why do you feel stressed out by the holidays? So put that in the chat box. Obligations, money, not enough time, to-do lists, managing relationships, obligation, money, too much stimulation, too much to do, too little time, gift giving obligations, consumerism, extra things, commitments, uncomfortable, family drama, gift giving to many family members. Most are out of state. Will the gifts be enough? Commercialism, drama, another year over. Being with family, expectations, gifts to buy. Making people happy, boredom for children, collective frenzied unconsciousness. I love that. High expectations, extra to-dos, high expectations, moody husbands. Well, that's all the time, no? Just kidding. Pretending. I love that. Expectations I don't care about, but you're still feeling pressure, aren't you? Gaining weight, political conversations, social expectations, family get-togethers and buying gifts. Too much. Family judgments. Trying to stay positive, actually enjoying the time together. This is just so amusing, isn't it? And tragic at the same time, that holidays have turned to a time of carbohydrates, not able to avoid cravings, anger at the advertising industry for making us feel we have to buy, expectations, consumerisms, doing, obligations. Unbelievable, right? Look at all of us. Unconscious families, trying to dodge children away from TV or video, pretending it's all perfect, not reaching my kids' high expectations, social values versus my inner values. Unbelievable. What are you noticing as you read or as I read out these stressors? What are you noticing is coming up within you? Too many plans, too little time, money issues. Pathetic, one person says. This is pathetic. Well, let's be compassionate and non-judgmental, because this is a plague. It's a ubiquitous plague. Fear, a lot of anxiety, overwhelm, ridiculous. I'm holding my breath. I feel sick to my stomach. Fake. Why do we do it? Exactly. That's why I'm doing this webinar, to show you the absolute inanity of why we do this. Exhausted. First holiday without some loved ones who's passed away. Pleasing others, meeting expectations. Inauthentic and conditioning. These are words from people who've taken lots of courses from me. Dodging the bullets. Boundaries are needed. Moronic X. How do I stop the cycle and the pattern? Missing people who are not around during the holidays. Okay. Fear of missing out, exactly. Not doing what the Joneses are doing. Feeling like you're the only one, the sore thumb, the one behind the curve. It's an illusion. All of this is an illusion. Okay. So let's delve into why we are doing this. And my entire philosophy on raising consciousness is really this: to penetrate the current archetypes of culture, the current paradigms of living, and to really poke at them, to show you how inane they are, how absolutely stressful, anxiety-producing, limiting, reductionistic they are. And unless you're willing to look at the truth of what we have bought into, you will not be liberated. So part of what I'm going to say will take some of the air out of the helium balloon of the illusion of the holidays. But what it will give you in return is true lift, true elevation, true buoyancy. I'm going to take out the fake helium that is keeping this balloon up in the air, but I'm going to insert, if you're willing, if you're courageous, some truth, some authenticity, some true liberation. So let's break down what these holidays have come to be and what they really need to be at their core, what the real intention should be. So the holidays have come to be, as you've seen, a time of external focus. They've come to be a time of lack. They've come to be a time of fear. So the acronym is ELF, keeping in the holiday tradition, ELF, external focused, lack-based, and fear-based. And this is the reason why they create so much nauseating anxiety within us. Anything that is externally focused, coming from lack, meaning I need to, I should, it's an obligation, I have to fulfill an expectation. This is lack-based thinking. Creates fear and anxiety. The fear of missing out. What will people say? How do I break the cycle? How do I stop? I don't know how to stop. You understand that this holiday surge is a mania. It's mass hysteria. We don't see it because we do, but we don't, because we are in our little Macy's on Cyber Monday, and we're in our little neighborhood when the traffic gets insane, and we're in our little crazy family. But if you just step back, and if you were an alien from another planet, you would look down on Earth during the holiday season of joy and abundance and just look at the other aliens and go, these people are crazy. What is this mass frenzy? That people go into a store after Thanksgiving and kill each other. On Thanksgiving, forget after Thanksgiving. What is this mass hysteria? Everyone rushing before the holiday season, stressed out and spending inordinate amounts of money on gifts that are consumed within 2 seconds, and everyone eating till their guts are overflowing and outflowing. They would seriously look at us and go, do these people even know that they are under the seduction of a mass hysteria that is driven by advertising and a media that is so thrilled that we people are such puppets that we've bought into all this? We have just bought into this hysteria that it's an obligation, that there's an expectation, that it needs to be consumerism focused, that it needs to be gift giving, that it needs to be about things. Gluttony, exactly. Over excess. Do you understand that you have a choice and you are not exercising your choice? Now, you could do the same thing that you've done decades earlier, but if you're doing it with choice, conscious awareness, now it's an entirely different game. So I'm not here to proselytize anti-holiday spirit. I'm here to introduce, to inject the light, right? We all want the holiday seasons to be full of light. Well, the light is about having an enlightened mind about the holiday season. So I'm here to insert and impose and challenge you to turn on your enlightened awareness around the holiday season. So the first place is to really see what the holidays have come to be and really ask yourself, do I want to participate? Do I want to collude with the madness of gluttony, over excess, consumerism, expectations, and a lack of authenticity? Do I want to continue to participate in the same way simply because I have been taught to be ELF, externally focused, lack-driven, and fear-based? This is the first question we need to ask. Just because there is a mass hysteria, does that mean that you're a puppet? That you have to do it this way, their way, the only way, your parents' way, culture's way? Or can you say, life is an adventure. Life is about experimenting. Life is about curiosity. Life is about shifting. If you don't try a new way of living, being, breathing, engaging, this is what I did with the entire conscious parenting paradigm. I challenged you to breathe in the parent-child relationship in a new way, to elevate to another dimension so that the air you took in was the air of consciousness. It was against the crowd. It was against mainstream. But I know for those of you who live it, live more free, untethered, unfettered lives. Same with the holiday season. I'm here to offer you the freedom of choice to do it differently. Don't do it in the maniacal, puppeteered way that you've been doing it with the herd mentality of mass hysteria. And even if you've done it this way till now, you get to change it today. You get to create light in a new way. So let's break down the 3 top areas that I believe, and you just talked about them, so I'm just going to summarize, the 3 top areas that have created or confluenced as the most stressful peaks of the holiday season. And when you hear me, you will see in the echoes of your own wisdom that this is absolute mass hysteria. This is absolute unconscious conditioning generation to generation to generation. And you believe that this will make you part of something, that this will create connection, that this is even meaningful. It is and it isn't. So the first place I want to start is that we now believe that the holidays are a time. They have a consecrated, sacred, holy period. Like they have a defined time span. This is the first illusion. There is no time span. There's no consecration. There's no holiness. Now, of course, religion will say that there is, because all the holidays, for the most part, are predicated around a cultural or religious phenomenon. Thanksgiving in America and in other places has been confluenced around an event, the pilgrims coming, the creation of something new, a new beginning when families get together. So we now celebrate the marking of that event. Christmas is the advent and the birth of Christ. And Hanukkah is about the Maccabees and the Hebrews. So it's all confluenced around events. Kwanzaa, the giving of your spirit in a particular way, in that tradition. So every tradition has their own. The Hindus have their own, the Buddhists have their own. But what you need to see for right now is that because of cultural and religious institutions, these holidays have been now birthed. They came from institutions. And now they've given us an illusion that there is a time for holidays, and therefore a time to connect, and therefore a time to consecrate your lives, and a time to give thanks. But the irony here is that we then only do it during this time, or we don't realize that it is not defined in a time. This is sure a reminder, but it should not be the holidays, because really the holidays should be inbuilt into your every moment. The holiness of the day, right? What is a holiday? It is the holiness of a day. What does that mean? It's how do I consecrate? How do I make hallow this moment? And therefore, if I need to make something hallow, I need to be hallowed. Therefore, I need to work on me. I need to elevate myself in this moment to a state of sacredness for myself. And it all comes down to worth, doesn't it? And this is, again, why I'm teaching this course on manifestation next year, because it all comes down to self-worth. The holidays mean nothing if all year round you haven't consecrated your life every day. The holidays mean nothing if it's fake. The holidays mean nothing if you're just giving out of obligation. Then it's one more year wasted. Then the holiday has been consecrated. It has been desecrated. It has been made unholy. So one more year of inauthenticity? No. So in order to manifest, which I'll teach in my year-long course, the Year of Manifestation, is to ultimately realize the hallowedness of your worth, the consecration of your every moment, the holiness of your own divinity. This is what the holidays need to be about. And this is what you've forgotten. And actually, you'll say to me, no, but the holidays, they help us remember. But they don't help us remember. I'll tell you why. Because now we rely on the holidays for that time to be the celebratory time, for that time to be the connection time. So then we just leave it to that, right? And then we don't remember. So if the holidays are truly here to remind us about our inner consecration, our inner holiness, then this is what the holidays will look like. Are you ready? First time if you're ready. If you're ready to truly use the holiday season for holiness. And what holiness? Inner holiness, inner worth, inner elevation. If you are ready, then you're going to have to do certain things. So I first want to hear if you're ready. Of course, you say you're ready because you haven't heard it yet. Okay. So the 3 areas that you're going to need to shift if you want to truly change the holiday paradigm are these. Okay? But then you're going to have to do it. And maybe I'll do a check-in with exactly you guys in January and see how it went. Okay? Because you're going to have to go against the tide. You're going to have to challenge customs. You're going to have to withstand the look of your relatives of disapproval and possibly not being invited again. And you're going to have to redo, undo, unlayer, unfold. And you're going to have to become the holy person in the day. You have to become the holiness of the day. The day doesn't give you anything. The event gives you nothing. It's what you bring to it, right? So you're going to have to bring a different energy. It's not going to change. The media is not going to change for you. Advertising is not going to change. The children are not going to change. And the moody husband is not going to go away. Those externals will stay constant. So it's you who's going to have to be ready to bring a new you to the paradigm. So for example, quickly before I tell you the three areas, on two Mother's Days ago, 2 years ago on Mother's Day, I chose to do something different. And yes, impose something on my daughter's agenda, which is typically not conscious, but who cares? It was Mother's Day. So I chose to not have my mothering be celebrated, but the fact that I was able to mother, the fact that I was able to give to another being be celebrated. And in the spirit of that, I chose to have my daughter, and she could bring a friend, give in the same mothering principle to homeless people in the city. And so I bought a ton of gift certificates that we then gave out. And my daughter is still traumatized by that day, as she can be. It's her choice. But one day she will look back and realize that every one of these days, if they are not centered on service, on sharing, on a true giving of spirit, then they are simply buying into the mass hysteria of consumerism. So while I saw her be traumatized, I also saw her understand not just her privilege, because that's just one piece of it. You know, we want our children to understand their privilege. No, not in a punitive way. I never want children to understand their privilege. You have so much, and you know how children are in Africa, and you need to give. No, that's not their fault that they have privilege. Let them have it. This is an abundant universe. Some have, some don't have. Those who don't have today may have tomorrow. That's not the point of teaching children to give. You teach children to give not because they need to learn the price of their privilege. You need to teach your children to give because there is an overflow, because there's just nothing else to do with this excess but to give. You see the difference? So when you teach your children about the price of privilege and you teach them to give during the holiday season, which in any case is so stupid that they only give during the holiday season, goes against abundance. It comes from lack. You teach your children to give because there's nothing else to do today but keep on giving because I already have. You see? But when we come from lack and external focus and fear-based thinking, ELF, then we wait for the holiday seasons. You see? Then we use the holiday seasons to get. And even though we're giving, we feel like it's an obligation because it's not true giving. It's giving to fit in. It's giving with an agenda. It's giving that is conditional. It's giving that is transactional. So let's enter the first area that needs to completely change. This false sense of giving. Number one area that needs to shift is the false sense of giving. You are not giving. If you have in you any anxiety around money, any anxiety around an expectation, any anxiety around an obligation, that means for this year, you need to go on a detox of giving. Do not give anything. Do not give a thing. Now, that's challenging, isn't it? I know what's coming up for you. How can I not give? I get so much. How can I not give? It's the tradition. How can I not give? My children expect. So what can you do instead? Well, this is what you can do. You can do two things in the act of giving. The first thing you need to do to shift in your giving is understand that when you choose to give, you are only going to do so if at the same time of your giving and the same time of you're scouring for a sale, and at the same time of driving in traffic and scuffling through the crowds, looking for that ideal gift, you are getting. So the first part you need to change in your gift giving and your sacrilegious righteousness in like, oh, I'm so amazing, and sanctimonious righteousness I meant, which is a sacrilege, that I'm so amazing in giving, is this. You aren't giving anything. If you are giving in the true spirit of giving, that means you are giving yourself as you are giving. So your giving is immediately a receiving. So when you are giving, in that act, if there is not an overabundant overflow of, oh my goodness, I get to give myself, then your giving is inauthentic. Now, this is true for any giving. Any giving. Giving a compliment, giving love, giving a hug, giving affection, giving a dinner at home, giving a coat to a hungry person or a cold person or a poor person. It doesn't matter, coat, a meal. If you at the act and process of buying and thinking and choosing are not fully receiving for yourself through the act, then your giving is fake. It is conditional, it is unconscious, it is further perpetuating the mass hysteria. So number one, when I give, I'm fully receiving. Therefore, I don't need the thank you. I don't need an equivalent gift. I don't need to be told you're wonderful. Done. Okay, so that's your first commitment when you give. The second thing, which is even more daring, is can you not give anything that has a monetary value and instead replace it and make an announcement. I'm replacing it with me, my presence. Now, I know you may think my presence is not as great as a $50 gift certificate, but this is what I've chosen to do because this is what gives me pleasure, to spend time with you. So I'm going to give you an experience. I'm going to give you my presence. I'm going to give you the ability to engage with me in a connected moment. You know, this is how you change the holiday psyche. When it shifts from consumerism, which is my second point. So now segueing to the second point. The reason why the holidays are so stressful is not only because we're giving in the wrong way, is because we are becoming avid, rabid consumers, not only of money-oriented gifts, which I've asked you to change to experience, but we're becoming consumers of other toxic things and processes, such as alcohol, food, watching inordinate amounts of TV, gossip, right? What are the other things you think you consume during the holidays? Why don't you make a list? What are the other things you think you consume, overconsume during the holidays? Food, drama, sweets, cookies, sleep, fat, getting fat and lazy, judgments, tolerance, selfies, sugar, not evolving, chocolate, family tension. Yes. So this is as you can see, that we overconsume on gluttonous things like food and alcohol, gossip, tension. This is the overconsumption because this is almost as if it's a timeout from consciousness. The holidays have become a timeout from being holy. This is the point of that the reason why I'm doing this webinar is to show people that the holidays have become anti-holy. They've become anti-conscious. They've become a way to kind of check out, to buy into mainstream media and mainstream consumerism and gluttony and over-excess. They've become the opposite of what was, I guess, originally intended, but who knows what that is. Well, there's certainly anti-consciousness. So much so that unless you completely rebel against mainstream ways of celebrating holidays, you will continue to be unconscious. So you overconsume on things, on food, on gossip, and you've kind of taken a time out, checkout on staying connected. You don't overconsume on cleansing your body. You don't overconsume on staying connected. You overconsume on things, again, external focus, externally oriented, constantly outside. And when you see 5 people in your family checking out, boozing, drinking, gossiping, you're like, forget it. And you enter your lowest denominator of yourself, the lowest vibration of who it is you really wanted to be all year round. I've seen this. Have you not seen this around the table? Like everyone is over drinking, overeating, as if it's allowed. Tomorrow, Thanksgiving, not tomorrow, when is it? In 2 days. You're going to eat a lot and think it's okay. Think that that's the way. No, you need to go on a cleanse on Thanksgiving. So when I say to people on Thanksgiving, because I know I'm making them feel guilty, but it's okay, that's their problem. When I say, no, I'm not overeating today, no, I'm going to actually eat less so I stay connected with my own being and my own holiness. No, so everybody says to me, oh, please don't come again. I go, okay, gratefully I won't come again. Because this is not about the external for me. Thanksgiving for me is a day of going inward and giving, true giving, service, gratitude. Where is the gratitude? If we're overly unconsciously consuming, we can't be grateful at the same time, because overconsumption means you're in lack. Gratitude means you're in abundance. So which one is it? Can't be both. So why are we buying into holidays being a time of overconsumption? Why? Why aren't the holidays a time of going inward? Go on your solar journey into the mountains. Take turns as adults to say, who's going to watch the children? And I get to go this year. That's my gift. And to my entire family. And the other one goes on a silent meditation retreat next year. That's what the holidays should be about. Here I am giving you a prescription. I'm just asking you to look at it differently, to shake it up. Don't do it the same way, same way, same way. You eat, you drink, you gossip, you have family tension, you have obligations, you suppress, you repress, you defy. The same things. Overconsumption. Change it. Flip it around. Go this holiday season. This is a year that we go under consumption. We go to basics. We go back to nature. I'll give you, but I'm not going to give you pretending I'm giving you anything if I'm not giving myself. I'll give you, but I'm not going to give you money. And you tell your children, yes, this year we're getting experiences. Pick an experience and we try to make that happen. Oh my goodness, how will I deal with my children's tantrums? Well, do you want to break a pattern or not? The pattern will only be broken by tantrums. Of course they're going to tantrum. Everyone's going to tantrum. But you see, you've set it up. You started buying fancy colognes and I don't know what you buy, watches for your children when they were 5 years old. Now what are you going to give them besides a Bentley and a Rolls Royce? There's nothing else to give. See, I used to save the lids from Dunkin'. If I went to Dunkin' Donuts and got a cold coffee, I would save the whole glass. I know, so cheap, the whole plastic thing with the straw, and give it to my daughter for Christmas and Hanukkah, whatever holiday I chose to celebrate that year. Every year I changed it. So whatever holiday, I used to collect things like this. One little trinket here, one little free thing here, and those were her gifts, and she was delighted because I started really basic. So I'm, even now after 10 years, still very basic. And what I exemplified were different things. I did a scavenger hunt, which she still asks me to do. And I go, really, really, do I still have to do a scavenger hunt? You're almost 15. But you see what you get into? But that's beautiful. So I made the holiday about something else, right? About an experience, about looking, about intrigue, about mystery, about adventure. So take the focus away from consumption, right? And not allow this time to be about what is everyone else doing. No, be normal, be ordinary, because your entire year should be consecrated. Your entire year should be elevated. You understand? So this is how you shift it. Do it differently. Don't consume. Don't get in the trap of consumption. Go against the tide. Go into consuming connection. Go into consuming togetherness. Go into consuming quietude. Go into consuming inwardness. Go into consuming nature, right? Change it. So create your own new traditions. Do your own new things. Right? Say we are going to celebrate, but we're going to celebrate this way. Every year, new way. Every year, new child in the family gets the way to lead the way. Why are we doing it the same old way? Why? Right? Why are we all buying the Christmas tree? Why are we all lighting the candles? I understand there's beauty to tradition, but can we spice it up? Can we mix it up? Can we turn it on its head? Can we detach a little bit from the identity of that religion? Can we de-identify and say, okay, Christ lives in me. The Buddha lives in me. Jesus lives in me. Muhammad lives in me. The God of the Hebrews lives in me. I am not one thing. I am all things. And if the holidays are not about opening your home to the oneness consciousness, then you are, again, anti-conscious. You may think you're very conscious, but you're not. It's as simple as that. The minute you are only going to do things one way and not with other people in other ways and all things all good, you are not promoting consciousness on earth. So let go of labels, let go of definitions, let go of identification. Oh, we only do this and we only do that. So how about you go into a Catholic home if you're Jewish this time? Show your children how other people celebrate. And why don't the Catholics go to the Jews and the Jews go to the Muslims? Yes, I defy you. Right? I remember when my daughter first went, she's, we don't celebrate any holiday really or prescribe to any religion, but people kind of think she's Jewish because her husband's from, my husband's from Israel. So one day she was with a friend of the Muslim faith and they were going to worship at their, at their mosque, at their local mosque. And they were really scared to take her. Are you sure? She won't be uncomfortable. Are you okay with it? We don't want to offend you. And my heart broke. And I said, you're not offending me. I've taught her God is in her. God doesn't exist outside of her. It first exists in her. So she's at home. The church, the synagogue, the temple, the mosque is in her. She doesn't take her anywhere. And they were like, okay, you are some weird kind of person. And my daughter went and came back with stories to tell. And she's been to the church. She's been to the synagogue. She's been to the temple. It's all open, right? The holidays are making holy of life. The holidays are consecrating life. Life exists in every human. Therefore, by that fact, if you are not introducing your children to a oneness consciousness, then. So then the third area which I want to talk about, which is the most spiciest area of all, is family dynamics. Family dynamics, right? Now think about it. We are celebrating the holidays to be with family, right? And yet, all of you are telling me that the families are driving you crazy. Now, what is that about? No, can you please explain to me what that is about in the chat? If families are driving you crazy and you are celebrating the family in the holiday, what is this disconnect about? Why does it exist? Why do we keep participating in it? And then we'll get to the solution. Obligations. Guilt. You have to love them as they are. The pressure to please others, expectations, comes from lack and guilt. Millions of questions, old toxic energies. It's all the relatives. The pressure to be perfect, especially for social media. Feels like we don't really know one another. Conditioning. We don't have traditions around real connection. It's based on external. The adult children want to be with parents, but not with each other. Reshma says she loves seeing her family. That's great. Feeling uncomfortable, inner child stuff, I guess. We were feeling disconnected, guilt. Unresolved issues from the past get in the way. We're unaware that we have a choice, obligation to be with them, then constant judgment and lack while there. Being stuck, meeting their expectations versus our own. Tradition, it's always the same. Over the years, they do not all get along. Old stories and shame. Lot of pretending and judgment. Who's doing it better? Who's the better parent? Who has better children? Old roles. Ego and pain body. Pressure of comparison with other families. Power struggles. Not being my true self. Expectations. Power struggles. Oh my goodness. So what's coming up for you when you read this? They want to drink. Social pressure. I take my kids to a different place to escape the family pressure. It's forced based on social expectations. So what are you feeling when you're reading this? What's coming up for you? Husband's family is another story. Don't feel comfortable. We're not going to the in-laws this year. Someone protests rebelliously. We're going to be more conscious. It made it so much easier. It's the reason I eat and drink. I pretend I'm not there. I pretend I'm there, but I'm not. I want to escape. Unhappiness in many families. There are a lot. So what's coming up for us is that many people want to check out, but there are a lot of us that want to do it differently. We want to change the way we're doing it, right? It's a lot of pressure. So as we see that this is the dysfunction, right? This is the sadness. We're perpetuating these unconscious, unhappy patterns. We don't want to hurt feelings, so we don't want to change. That's what's coming up for people as they're reading these reactions. We have to change. Such pressure to be happy and have conversation. Most people are in pain and not present, and so then pretending. Okay, so how do we change it? Now here's the thing. You cannot change anyone else. We know that. Like, that's the basic. So you're going into the same situation, expecting it to be different this year, is only your madness, right? That's what Einstein said. You keep going in, you keep doing the same thing, and you keep expecting them to change. So they're not going to change. So here's where my ubiquitous solutions come in. You can accept the way things are, meaning you go in, expect the mayhem, expect the madness, and just go with the tide, surrender, accept, and therefore you have peace. You can change it, which means you change yourself. As in, you say, you know what? This year, when Aunt Jacqueline talks about cousin Mark, I'm just going to be quiet. I'm not getting tripped up. I'm not going to get triggered. And when my mom says, oh, what do you do with your hair? The other hairstyle suited you better. You're just going to stay quiet. You're going to meditate. You're going to be present. You're going to detach. So you change yourself, or you change your plans, or you don't go, or you say, you know what, this year I'm taking a staycation, or this year I'm taking a break, or this year we're doing the holidays differently. We're doing a fitness holiday. We're doing a nature holiday. We're doing a stay connected to the self holiday. Stay very connected to who it is we are holiday. You know, you change. You just send them a postcard and say, I'm changing it. But you have to change yourself. And the third one is you leave, which is connected to, you know, you just leave this whole thing behind, right? So either you go in and you accept the way things are, and you surrender to the madness and the mayhem, which means you don't resist the way things are, which means you don't have expectations of anything different. Therefore, you have more joy, peace, and abundance. Or you change it. Now, you could change your mother and your father. You could change Aunt Terry and Uncle Joe. You could, right? But then be prepared to have a discussion, a debate, and a war. Sure. Maybe you change it by having better boundaries, right? You go in, but you say, you know what, this time I'm going to have better boundaries. This time I'm going to say no. This time I'm going to speak up. This time I'm going to talk. This time I'm going to declare. This time I'm going to negate, right? That could be a change. Or you could change by leaving, right? Change the vacation, not go, leave the whole thing behind. So these are the three choices you have. Now, if you don't execute these changes, if you don't say, you know what, I just can't do it the same old way. I refuse to subscribe to just mass hysteria. I refuse to subscribe to parental craziness. I refuse to subscribe to family dogma. It's not my way. I'm too old now. I'm raising my own children. I can't do this anymore. This is total garbage to me. You can play the game. I'm not playing the game. You can tell everyone, please don't buy me gifts this year. Thank you very much. It's too stressful for me. And guess what? You won't be getting a gift either. But I invite you for a date, or I invite you for a movie connection, or a connection over coffee. And you can change it all around. Give postcards for connection and tell them, please, no more gifts. I'm sick and tired of them, right? I'm giving away my things. How about you have a sale and everyone brings everything and you sell it, or you exchange it and you give the money away? So there are many different ways to do this, but you have to be a maverick and you have to change it around. Someone asked, what about young kids and Santa? So you have to make a decision. Now, if you've already told your kids about Santa, well, you can use Santa then and say Santa got tired. Santa was ill. Santa only has da-da-da. Or Santa only has, coupons for experiences this year. Use Santa. In fact, it's easier to use Santa, no? Santa was out of commission. Santa didn't have money. Santa's really sad that poor people don't have money. And he wrote us this letter saying that we need to go do this, right? Give a different Santa. If Santa is a damn creation anyway, okay? Since Santa is a construction of the human mind anyway, actually all of it is a construction of the human mind, but we'll get into that in another course. But since Santa clearly, you will agree, is a invention, why don't you invent him into your Santa, into your kind of conscious Santa? You change it around. Do it your way. Someone says that their child said Santa is not conscious. He doesn't like kids to cry or pout. Exactly. So make a conscious Santa. If you're going to use it anyway, use it the right way, or kill the Santa. Or Santa's tired. Santa's taking a break. Santa realized that this is all rubbish and garbage, and he decided to go conscious, and he's off meditating, and he wants all of us to do the same. Have fun with it. So the 3 areas that you need to change are: the giving needs to become giving to you while you're giving. The giving needs to be no more of money. It needs to be of your presence, of connection, of an enlightened way of looking, living, engaging, breathing. You're going to change the whole attitude of consumerism. This whole eating. Oh, we're going to eat so much. Please don't eat so much. Please don't eat so much. You do not need to eat during the holidays. This is your addiction. And, Susie Lula, a dear colleague of mine and a dear friend, and I did a course called The Conscious Cleanse. You can buy it off my website and watch it the entire holiday season so that you do not overconsume and put on all that weight. You don't need to. This is an association you've made that is a conditioning. You can break it. Please break it. Thanksgiving is not about eating. And the third area you change is in how you relate to family. You change the dynamic. You change who you are in the family system. You topple it all upside down. You enter the family in a different way. Overall, I'm asking you to understand that all of this is an invention. All of this was created. None of it is true. The holidays don't even exist. Okay? It is an invention, a construction, a cultural paradigm. Just by fact that the holidays exist here, don't exist in another country. One person does Thanksgiving on this day. One person celebrates Christmas. The other one does Hanukkah. The other one is an atheist. All of this shows that it can't be ubiquitously universal. It's what you choose. So when you're choosing, understand that you are choosing. Therefore, it's a construction. It's not real. It's not mandated by anyone up above, down below. It's something you've chosen. So if you've chosen, then you're also choosing to have stress and anxiety. So it's on you. So do different. Choose it differently. You don't have to do this the same way. Every day needs to be a holiday. Every day is a holy day. Every moment is holy if you are part of it. This is your commitment to yourself. This is what I want you to manifest this holiday season. So speaking about manifestation, my new course is called The Year of Manifestation. I just am in the completion of my first year-long course, which I did for the entire 2017. And let me tell you, when I conceived of it at the end of 2016, I thought I was crazy. Shivali, you're going to do a year-long course. You're going to talk to a camera twice a week for a year. Are you crazy? But something in me made me do it. I don't ordinarily do things like this. And it has been the most rewarding experience, one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. We had over 550 people doing this together as a tribe. And now most of them are going to roll over to my new course called The Year of Manifestation. The details are here. If you choose to enroll in my Year of Manifestation course, I'm giving you a gift certificate to give to anyone in your family, a $50 coupon gift certificate that they can use for any of my courses. This is how we change from consumerism to consciousness. We have to teach consciousness. We have to spread consciousness. So go ahead to my website. The sale is only till the end of Cyber Monday. Yes, I'm buying into the whole holiday frenzy. Why not? But I'm using it for conscious spreading. So join this course. I don't sell things, usually, but I know this value. You're going to get 108 lectures from me, daily Facebook support, extra Q&As, so much support. And I'm giving you a $50 gift certificate if you sign up by Monday night. So it's a win-win. Hope to see you there. in the year of manifestation. I hope this holiday detox tickled, challenged, poked, probed you to do the holidays differently. Holidays are just a consumer trick. It's all a seduction of institutions here to make you follow, blindly be part of, make you feel that if you're not part of, you're nothing, which is a lie, and make you buy, 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 buy. Don't buy into this. Change it around, see through it, do it differently. This is your life. This is your one chance to be abundant, joyful, liberated. Don't waste another holiday season doing the same old, same old. Don't do it. Don't take a single selfie. Don't dress up. Don't put makeup. Don't buy anything. Live in your pajamas. If it's truly a holiday of celebration of your worth, then do that and only do that. Thank you all for listening. I hope to see you in my course. Thank you all for being part of this, and have a abundant and a joyful, restful time of year. Take care, everyone.